Welcome to this week's episode of Maroon TV News. I'm Sotiropoulos. This week's top story. Of all the admitted students, a record 55% of them chose to attend the college in the fall. 63% of students admitted from the Chicago area chose to stay in Chicago for their studies, setting yet another record. 10% of students are coming from abroad. The university credits its high admissions yield rate to its new programs and initiatives aimed at attracting students. The Logan Center, the Institute of Politics, and the Institute for Molecular Engineering all added to the already extensive list of programs the university has to offer. The university's annual scavenger hunt was last weekend, and as usual, the college's best and brightest put their minds to work, putting together and finding the judges' famously zany items. This past Thursday, the Alpha Omicron Pi sorority held its annual philanthropic event, Phoenix Feud, at Mandel Hall. The event brought together sororities and fraternities in a family feud-style competition, consisting of topics ranging from UChicago to this year's theme of Las Vegas. Delta Gamma won the competition and took home $500 after losing in the first round the last couple of years. AE Pi won the $200 Spirit Cup prize for donating $609. All proceeds from the event went to AO Pi's National Philanthropy, the Arthritis Foundation. There's a brand new brass band taking over UChicago's music scene, but it's not like anything you've ever seen before. Maroon TV's Ryan McNamara has the full story.
A blaring trumpet, some dirty saxophone, a rocking guitar, and even a flute. Instruments that wouldn't seem to fit together in any other setting.
A lot of people are confused. A lot of people really dig it. Some people cover their ears.
This funky fusion of traditional African beats and jazz is a sound usually heard on the soulful streets of the French Quarter, not in the polished halls of the Logan Center.
It's not something that we could accomplish with, say, a classical brass group or a string quartet or something like that. It's very much a New Orleans sound.
A New Orleans-style brass band certainly feels out of place at a school with a reputation like that of the University of Chicago, but that's just what second-year trumpet player Ivan Paizow wants.
I wanted to have an ensemble where when people saw us perform, they wouldn't be sitting down and sort of getting really UChicago about analyzing. I wanted to have a group where when we perform, people dance, and people are involved in our performance.
Paizow began UChicago's Dirt Red Brass Band during the fall quarter of this school year in order to bring a little fun to the UChicago campus.
I emailed some of the guys that I knew that played jazz, and some that I didn't even know but were recommended to me, and I said, hey, why don't we get together and try learning, do what you wanna, and see how that goes. And if it's not fun, then we'll quit, we'll pretend this never happened. If we like it, let's learn another song. And it sort of grew from there.
The band now has 18 members and an expanding set list that includes a number of top 40 hits. Paizow says that for this reason, the New Orleans label applies more to the spirit of the band than their actual music.
I mean, really, we're a street band, and we play some New Orleans music, but we also do some covers of top 40 songs, as long as there's a good beat and that it's fun to play and there's great horn lines. We're actually debuting a cover of Beyonce's Crazy in Love.
Despite exploring other musical genres, the free-spirited nature of its New Orleans style is the heart of the band. And in true New Orleans fashion, Dirt Red hosts their own parties in a Mardi Gras atmosphere.
When I think about what I expect college to be like and what I would want college to be like, I think of going with my friends and dancing to live music, and experiencing something that's right there. And if we can supply that, why not?
Like any New Orleans brass band, Dirt Red knows how to party. But when there are no parties to be found, they turn to another New Orleans tradition, the second line, and take the party to the streets.
we live in a city, you know? There's gonna be noises. That's what makes living here exciting. And as much as we can contribute to that, I think it's good to get people out of this university bubble.
And to see how committed Dirt Red is to bringing some fun to the UC campus, one only has to look as far as their name.
It's a little bit of a homage to Dirty Dozen, and I wanted something that sounded kind of like a brass band name would sound like, and I just thought about how we are UChicago, and what unites us is that we are Maroons, and what is maroon but just a dirt red.
To find out where the band will be playing next and how you can attend, check out their Facebook page at UChicago's Dirt Red Brass Band. With Maroon TV News, this is Ryan McNamara.
This week, you may have noticed the arts on display at UChicago. It's FOTA Week 2013, and Ryan McNamara has the story.
It's something that you don't necessarily see in UChicago, so I feel like often visual arts goes under the radar, which is a really big shame because we have a lot of very, very talented artists.
As FOTA Week 2013 draws to a close, the arts at UChicago are anything but under the radar.
This week, I'm excited just to see different art installations around campus and places that you don't necessarily expect it. You can have it up in like Harper and Weevil and on the quads.
The Festival of the Arts kicked off their 50th anniversary celebrations in style at the Logan Center. Those attending FOTA Week's launch party enjoyed the food and the DJ while being treated to student artwork and a moda fashion show.
We're just being bigger this year, bigger and better. We spend more money on artists, we spend more money on our events, we have more events going on, so we're just very excited to have it.
Among those whose work was showcased was second-year transfer student Allie Torum.
My first instinct was like, oh, well, I'll do portraits because that's what I do. Like, as an artist, that's what I do. But then I wanted to do something that was more interactive and more interesting.
Torum channeled her inspiration from being a UChicago student into her art and created a project called That's a Beautiful Moment.
So basically, I worked as a middleman. I said, nominator, who do you nominate? And they said, this person and why. I got like 10 really good responses. I loved them. And then I reached out to those people and said, someone has nominated you for this project, and I showed them about the project in the Facebook group and everything.
Torum had her nominators draw portraits of the people who inspired them during their time at the university. Those nominated were unaware who had chosen them until the launch party, where they received their portraits. For Torum, her project was a success.
I've never had anything like this before. I feel very happy and very fulfilled, and this whole night has been fantastic.
For the last 50 years, FOTA has helped aspiring artists realize their artistic visions by providing funds and supplies. One such artist is third-year grad student Eric Stutz.
It's hard to know what to make of it. It's, to me, and I hope other people see this, it's obviously not something that anyone can draw. It's not random, but it clearly did not come from a human mind, which I think is really intriguing.
Stutz is experimenting in digital art, creating unique compositions using ergodicity, a concept from chaos theory.
I had a polygon, I set like a ball bouncing around inside of it, and I looked at how chaotic is that motion as I changed the location of the vertices of one of the vertices of the polygon. And I got these really weird images to come out that are clearly not random and show this kind of beautiful, strange pattern.
A beautiful and strange pattern found in the chaos by a UChicago student. It only seems appropriate that students at the UFC mix their art with their studies. To learn more about FOTA and their future events around campus, check out their Facebook page. With Maroon TV News, this is Ryan McNamara.
That wraps up this week's newscast of Maroon TV News. Remember to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/MaroonTV, and visit our YouTube channel, Maroon Television. Thanks for watching.